Afternoon, everyone. My name is Latrice Griffin. I am the Chief of Communications and Family Engagement for the East Baton Rouge Parish School System. We are so thrilled to have a packed room here to enjoy and celebrate this wonderful announcement that is about to take place. Just to give you a brief run through, we ask that you please silence your cell phones. We are live streaming, so we don't want our viewers to be interrupted by your calls and your texts. We appreciate that. And just so you'll know, for the case of the media, our run of who will be up speaking. First, we'll have Superintendent Dr. Cedar Narcisse. From the Mayor's Office, we have Ms. Courtney Scott. On behalf of LSU, we have President William Tate along with Judith Rhodes. On behalf of Dreambox, we have Tim Hudson. And on behalf of the Council of Great City Schools, Mr. Ray Hart. And then we'll follow up at that time with questions and answers. So next to the podium, we'll have our Superintendent of Schools, Dr. Cedar Narcisse.
Hello, if I can get our board members to come up as well. I always say part of this work is not just myself, but it takes an entire village to do this work. So my name is Dr. Cedar Narcisse, proud superintendent of the East Baton Rouge Parish School System. I'm honored today to announce that the East Baton Rouge Parish School System, along with New York City school districts, were awarded a multi-million-dollar grant to support our work in math equity. Our district was awarded about $3.5 million, and yes, we should give ourselves a hand for that. The day I was chosen as superintendent, the school board stressed the importance of not only to improve the school district, but also to be able to make sure that we were a part of innovative work in the country. And I think that we are on the track to show that East Baton Rouge is on their way to doing that. This is such an exciting announcement to share for so many reasons. It's about more than this incredible grant providing money and resources to help students succeed. It's about successful instructional and learning information that will provide math teachers and students in EBR and nationwide the tools that they need to learn as we continue to progress mathematically in our country. We all know that this unfinished learning related to COVID epidemic created a major challenge that continues to remain at the forefront for solution efforts for teachers in the classroom. The education gap that exists in our school system are glaring, and this program aims to understand why that is the best strategies to fill those gaps. It is also evident that economically disadvantaged and minority students have been the most vulnerable during these times. So we want to provide math equity for all students through a focus on successful methodology in those areas. A lot of the challenges we see students facing have to do with their early experiences with math learning. Many of them have adopted a stigma when it comes to understanding something that seems to be foreign to them. So through our vital partnership with experts like the ones we have with LSU EREC, Dreambox Learning, this program will allow us to share our teaching methods, tools, and performance to compromise very specific data about what works and how and why. Once we have a vivid picture of those elements, we can fine-tune best practices to reach even the students with the most fearful perceptions in math class. This is a dynamic shift in how we have historically approached classroom instruction and intervention. It is so important that students feel comfortable and confident about even approaching a subject that may seem daunting to them. We are honored to be a part of a program with so much potential that truly can help impact not only here students in EBR, but also around the country. I want to just thank a few people as we'll call up some folks. Number one, I'd like to thank LSU President William Bill Tate, for helping us so much around the work since he's become president. We've been partnered fully in and we're excited that we have a flagship university that gets it to help support our K-12 system. We also like to thank our Mayor President Broom, who will have Courtney Scott, who will speak on her behalf right after me, that helps to provide and understand the importance that as a city, we have to continue to grow our students in order to make our city a better place. I also like to thank Dr. Judith Rhodes from the LSU Social Research and Evaluation Center, who also helped put efforts in. You'll also hear today also from Dr. Tim Hudson from Dreambox Learning, who we've been an existing partner with to help us with tools with Dreambox, which help with mathematics. We're super excited about that. And we also definitely like to thank Mr. Ray Hart, who's the Executive Director of the Council of Great City Schools. As many of you know, East Baton Rouge is a part of the Council of Great City Schools. We have the 77 cities across the United States that partner for urban education to improve the lives of children in various cities. And you're going to hear from Mr. Hart as well today. So with all that being said, I'd now like to welcome to the podium Courtney Scott on behalf of the Mayor President, Sharon Weston Broome.
Good afternoon, everyone, and thank you, Superintendent Narcisse. Mayor Broome, like many of our stakeholders in the community, are in Greenville, South Carolina, sending their best wishes. I've had a chance to look at a lot of the photos, and as we talk about shifting norms and innovation in Baton Rouge, outside of just education, we are so excited for the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation making this investment in Baton Rouge. And it's the first of many that we know that will come. We've seen so many advances that are happening around changing the stigma, as you mentioned, Superintendent, but what it takes, I want to remind everyone, is the collaboration that you're seeing here today. What it takes is the support from the community to make our students understand that they can. And these types of investments prove the possibilities that are there, because you're seeing these large investments with cities like New York and other people in the community. And we say to ourselves, look at this comparison. Baton Rouge is advancing. We have to believe in ourselves. We have to continue to advance that for our students. And we're so proud of these public-private partnerships that are making advancements possible. So we're excited today to celebrate this great news. We're excited today to continue to encourage our math teachers, our professional development professionals that will be supporting this work. And we're here to say kudos, and we're excited for the partnership. Thank you very much.
Well, Dr. Narcisse, you did it. Congratulations to you and your team for securing such a prestigious grant. Bringing the Gates Foundation and our colleagues here from Dreambox is exactly what I would hope as the president of a flagship university, that the school district in our backyard will be moving mathematics education forward in this way. As you know, I've spent the last 40 years of my life in mathematics. My first job was as a secondary mathematics teacher in Dallas, Texas. And I've done research on it for 40 years. And I'm going to just say this, that everything we're doing at LSU deeply, deeply is connected to what you're doing here today. We are committed to a Pentagon to protect and secure the people of the state of Louisiana, and that involves agriculture, biomedical science, coastal research, defense, including cyber and energy. And every single one of them requires an understanding of mathematics. Every single one of them requires a deep understanding of statistical science. Every single one of them requires students to be able to compute and actually design software and algorithms. And my hope is, in terms of engaging with Dreambox and my colleagues at LSU who are going to be providing the evaluative framework for this work, that you will advance forward in ways that others who have attempted this have not been as successful. And I know I said I've been involved with it for 40 years, and while there have been success, there have been many setbacks. And the key, in my opinion, to being successful is alignment. So I want you to understand that we at LSU are completely aligned with you. And many of you may know we have a partnership with the district on coastal science, extremely important activity in terms of learning, but also in terms of securing our future here in the state. And we want those young people involved in coastal science to be taking advantage of what's happening here in the mathematical sciences. And we hope that we can provide bridges to LSU to have the very best of those students come and matriculate at LSU, and the very best of those students, because of our A&M agenda, matriculating at Southern University, and that together Southern, LSU, and this school district will make this a place where science is reigning well. And I'm excited. I can't be more pumped about this particular partnership. I think we have a chance, And I'm betting on you, sir. I'm betting on your colleagues. Y'all have a lot of pressure, Dreambox, because I'm betting on you as well, given the standards that you have set so far across the country. And I'm betting on my colleagues at LSU. And I think we can pull it off together. So congratulations to you all. Very excited about this and look forward to working with you. I believe my colleague is next. Thank you.
Good afternoon. I'm really excited to be here. My name is Judith Rhodes, and I'm the director of the Social Research and Evaluation Center and a professor of research there. And I'm here with my team, so they're scattered around the room. And on behalf of our center and our team, I would really like to thank the East Baton Rouge Parish School System for including us in this really important partnership with Dreambox Learning. Because this project is not just a research team on the side. We are part of a research infrastructure. So it's us at LSU, Dreambox, and East Baton Rouge Parish School System. We're going to work together to co-create a research agenda to investigate math equity in East Baton Rouge Parish schools. So we do plan to explore how math instruction can close achievement gaps and support learning through technology and new and innovative classroom practices. Through this research, we aim to learn more about math competence, student engagement, motivation, and persistence, so students can succeed in school, in their careers, and in life. And we greatly appreciate the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation for making this possible. So thank you and congratulations. And next up, Dr. Hudson from Dreambox.
Thank you. At Dreambox, we know all students are brilliant, and our talented teams, which include many former classroom teachers and education leaders, develop learning experiences that help students show that brilliance and develop that brilliance. And Dreambox Math not only helps improve achievement, but more importantly, it also helps motivation. It's not just about test scores. It's about their curiosity. It's about their confidence in math. Foundational math knowledge is just as important as foundational confidence and motivation. And our goal is to inspire students to think for themselves. I was a high school math teacher, and too many students arrived in my classes thinking that math was a place where they would go to get answers to questions they'd never asked, right? And many of us adults probably experienced some sit and get kinds of math classes, but Dreambox is a think and do program because we know students can do it. We know they want to think, we know they can think, and they develop confidence from getting lessons at their just right level. We are so proud to have been partnering with East Baton Rouge up to this point, supporting teachers, supporting students, helping improve achievement. And we're so proud to be partnering with them again to deepen this partnership with the Gates Foundation grant. East Baton Rouge is a district with an innovative leader, with innovative ideas, with a bold vision for students and the community. And they have a talented team who wrote this grant, talented leaders who share the mission that we have at Dreambox for all students to be successful regardless of where they live or what their starting point is. We had the good fortune at Dreambox several years ago to have another Gates Foundation grant focused on teacher professional learning. So we're excited to be partnering with them again. And as my colleagues have mentioned and team members here, partnering with LSU and EBR, it's just really exciting for us and for our company. So we can figure out how to find the most effective practices to help Hispanic, Black, and economically disadvantaged students. The impact, as you've heard before, the impact of this grant will extend far beyond just these next couple of years and the incredible work that we're going to be doing to innovate to support all students. What matters is what works, and our entire team at Dreambox is committed to partnering with East Baton Rouge and LSU and this innovative team to improve educational outcomes for the students who need it most, because we can and we must. And now, to Ray Hart.
Good afternoon, everyone. I am Ray Hart. I am the Executive Director with the Council of the Great City Schools. And just want to say thank you to all of those for inviting us, but most importantly, congratulations to Dr. Narcisse, as well as his staff, his team, At the council, we're honored to work with 78 of the largest urban school districts in the country, of which East Baton Rouge is one. And of the 78, when we sat down with the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation to craft this opportunity, when we worked with them to develop kind of what we envisioned would help all of our students get better, learn, and grow. I couldn't think of a better place where we can begin to learn and make investments in our young people than here at East Baton Rouge. So thank you and congratulations to you all. Thank you to the staff of the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation. Just happy to work with them, partner with them. At the council, the most important thing for us is improving student achievement, improving student outcomes. And as I went through my career, starting off in engineering, and then on to my subsequent opportunities in education, they've all been rooted and based in mathematics. And understanding the importance of mathematics, particularly based on what the impact the pandemic has had on our students and our young people across the country, not just here in East Baton Rouge, but across the country, and what it'll take for us to really learn and grow and improve outcomes for our kids. We're happy to be able to have Louisiana State University, as well as Dreambox, partnering with East Baton Rouge to help us understand what works well for our students and what allows us an opportunity to grow, not just East Baton Rouge, but all of our member districts. And so we look forward to learning from you. We look forward to learning with you, and we look forward to sharing what you learn with member districts across the country. Congratulations to you all. It's an honor and pleasure to be here with you this afternoon, and we look forward to working together.
At this time, we'd like to call back up Dr. Narcisse and our partners and open the floor to questions and answers.
All right, any questions?
Charles is here with the advocate. I was curious, so 3.5 million, so what does that, can you tell in broad terms what that pays for and the timeline and then how it's different from what EBR is already doing with Greenbox?
Absolutely. Let me go ahead. I'm going to call up Charles. Let me get my chief of accountability, who is responsible with Susan Navo, head of grants. Will come up and they'll give you the specifics. Andrew?
Thanks, Charles. It's 33 months, 3.5 million spread across our partners. And as our colleagues alluded to, it's to really elevate the thinking and push the envelope on how we can elevate the work that we're currently doing to better impact, as you well know, the achievement gaps that we've seen in our data. So I'm going to let Suzanne speak to a few budget details as the author of the grant.
Yes, in EBR district, much of the funding is going to go to professional development of teachers, partial of training coming from Dreambox, then also the money going to LSU is for their research piece, and then of course to Dreambox for developing the tools that we're going to use for online learning.
So can you describe the research piece, what we know about what it's going to look like? It sounds like it's still being developed.
Right. So this is still being developed. We're currently using Dreambox as an intervention for math in K through 8. And so we're going to continue to do that. And so that this will take place in the K through 8 grades. We're going to start looking at what makes children succeed, feel confident in math. How can teachers support this? With the COVID, the back step that we made with math, we've got a lot of online learning across the nation and across the world. So it's interesting to look at online learning and how we can support children, and we will study all that now.
Will there be any additional measuring tools that you are already doing? I guess I'm wondering if you're trying to get at questions maybe you haven't been trying to get at as much.
Well, yeah, what we currently have through Dreambox and the data that we use in the district. So now Dreambox and our team will start looking at what we can do, what tools can we use to more specifically identify what will help children, and most specifically those subgroups that we're looking at.
Okay, so it's working with the data you're already getting in greater detail, or are you actually capturing more data?
Part of the grant, and Dreambox and Judith can speak to this, is to allow us to have better tools to better analyze and synthesize the data.
And we will have additional tools. We're going to be looking at math competency amongst kids, efficacy amongst the children. And so as this is really getting in the weeds, but they use certain curriculum for Tier 1 math, and Dreambox Learning is a Tier 2 enhancement. I hope I'm not overstating. Right, Eureka Math is a Tier 1 math. And so to see how children can catch up as through COVID, there's a lot of learning loss. Are kids competent? Do they think they can do math? How are they engaged and not engaged in math? How can we help teachers to better engage in the classroom? So we will be using some additional tools for that. We are going to be gathering information from teachers through some qualitative research as well. But as you mentioned, we are co-creating a research agenda. So we have some basic direction we're going to go. And as we build that together, it'll be more definite.
You did ask about a timeline, and we have 4 to 5 months to start that planning for the research agenda before we start implementation.
33 months.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Any other questions? Yes.
Can you tell us more about the process for selection? Was it competitive? Were there other districts that applied? We'd just like to know more about that.
Thank you. I am obviously not a partner, but we helped to make that happen. So with the council, we actually sat with the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation, talked through what we wanted to learn, how we'd like to kind of craft an opportunity for a partnership around both research as well as understanding mathematics outcomes for students. So we created that opportunity. Yes, there were other districts involved. So we put the opportunity out to all 78 of our member districts. We had about 30 districts show initial interest, immediate interest. We had some others kind of go in and out throughout the process, but ultimately only 2 were selected for this opportunity. So really looking forward to what we can learn. What we envisioned as part of the process, and they just described it, was really to learn more about how kids learn and what it takes. One of the things that we use is the term unfinished learning, not learning loss. And the reason we use that term is because children quite often, there was a problem that was shared on NAEP earlier this last week, where the question was 4 away from M. And most of the students on the problem put 4 minus M instead of M minus 4, which is the correct answer. But it shows that kids understood subtraction, but there was some unfinished learning that was going on that didn't help them understand that it's taking 4 away from M. And so what we envisioned was an opportunity to learn more about the processing and how kids are understanding mathematics to make sure that we can shore up some of that unfinished learning.
All right, quick question. So I saw in the press release we have over 17 districts that were kind of in the final running that the 2 were chosen out of, but there were more that had applied.
There were more that showed interest. So we actually had a number of calls with member districts from around the country, both research teams, mostly research teams, as well as others. Some curriculum directors were involved in the process as well. So there were more that showed interest. Ultimately, 17 submitted kind of official letters to the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation, but we worked with more than that through the process.
So what's your sense of why East Baton Rouge got here with New York City? What put it over the top in your view?
The talent of their team. So congratulations to the team and the talent that's here at East Baton Rouge.
Any other questions? Well, thank you so much for being here, and we're super excited to be a part of this process, and we're thank you for all the partners that are here, and we're just excited that and humbled that East Baton Rouge is going to not only do great work here, but also show the nation, and we can learn together as we keep improving children in our city. So thank you.
Cost breakdown.